اسمعوا صوت السماء جاء المسيح جاء المسيح اسمعوا صوت السماء جاء المسيح جاء المسيح.
Hadhrat Mirza Tahir Ahmad.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. 100 years ago today, an amazing event took place at Qadian, an obscure and tiny hamlet in the province of the Punjab, India. It was an event which was destined to change the course of history. There appeared a religious leader specifically commissioned by God to lead mankind as the promised reformer of the latter days. His name was Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. He laid the basis for the unification of mankind in a unique manner. He resolved the conflicts and paradoxes prevailing in the religious world regarding the advent of a global reformer. The followers of all great religion in that age, Jews, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, Zoroastrians, and also the followers of Confucius, all were anxiously awaiting the advent of a promised reformer as predicted in their holy scriptures. The Jews expected that the Messiah would rejuvenate Judaism. The Christians claimed that the second advent of Jesus would bring nigh the kingdom of heaven. The Muslims believed that the Messiah and Mahdi would join forces to bring about the final renaissance of Islam and its victory over all other religions. The Hindus awaited the coming of God in the form of Krishna, and the Buddhists were hopefully waiting for the reincarnation of Buddha. How could God send different messengers simultaneously, each calling to the same God in his own different way, inviting mankind onto divergent paths and conflicting ideologies? That was the perplexing question addressed by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian under divine guidance and revelation. It was revealed to him that all the prophecies regarding the advent of various reformers were no doubt true. They, however, implied that only a single claimant would be raised who would combine in his one person the qualities, role, and spiritual powers of all the great world reformers whose advent had been promised. Indeed, he would be a soldier from God, wearing the garbs of different prophets. He also proclaimed that the religion chosen by Almighty God for the universal and final manifestation of his unity was Islam. Thus, in accordance with the divine command, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad claimed to be that global reformer who was destined to be raised in Islam in complete subordination to Prophet Muhammad, the last law-bearing prophet. May peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. This was an astonishing claim indeed. It was even more astonishing that this solitary voice, raised from a small unknown village, insignificant as it seemed to the world at large, was heeded at all. Some responded to this call with complete faith and devotion. There were others, however, who raised a storm of hostility, the like of which has seldom been witnessed in the history of mankind. His followers were subjected to extreme persecution. They were deprived of religious freedom and fundamental human rights. Even laws were enacted in some countries to render them liable to severe punishment and prosecution for the mere act of professing and practicing their faith. Yet all this phenomenal opposition utterly failed to arrest the progress of Ahmadiyyat, which is marching forward even faster today than ever before. All the efforts of hostile fanatics, be they individuals, groups, or governments, have totally failed in their purported objective of exterminating Ahmadiyyat from the face of the earth. God stood by his servant Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, fulfilled all his promises, and as prophesied in 1898, caused his message to reach the corners of the earth. Today, Ahmadiyyat stands established in 120 countries, and the pace of its growth is destined to engulf the entire world. God saved his followers, Ahmadis, protected them from all evil designs, and showered his innumerable blessings upon them during the last 100 years. It is therefore to extol the name of Allah and sing his praises for his innumerable bounties that Jamaat Ahmadiyya is celebrating the year 1989 as a Thanksgiving centenary year. On this auspicious occasion, I most humbly and sincerely invite all my fellow human beings to study the Ahmadiyya movement in Islam seriously and to join its fold. I call upon God, who is all-knowing, ever-present, as my witness that the message of Ahmadiyyat is nothing but truth. It is Islam in its pristine purity. The salvation of mankind depends on accepting this religion of peace. Islam is the religion which does away with all discrimination between man and demolishes all barriers of race, color, and creed which divide humanity today. Islam liberates man from the bondage of sin and strengthens his ties with his Creator. It is a religion so simple, yet so highly organized to meet the demands and challenges of the ever-changing world. Islam permits no exploitation, be it social, political, economic, or religious. The political philosophy of Islam has no room for false or deceptive diplomacy. It believes in absolute morality and enjoins justice and fairness to friends and foes alike in every sphere of human interest. Islam neither permits coercion for the spread of its own message, nor gives license to other religions to do so. Indulgence in terrorism, even in the name of the noblest objectives, is entirely incompatible with the teachings of Islam. It is the firm belief of Jamaat Ahmadiyya that Islam is the panacea for all maladies and ailments of suffering humanity today. Islam teaches us that unless man learns to live at peace with himself and with his fellow human beings, he can never learn to live in peace with God, at peace with God. It is to this Islam that I invite mankind. I am fully aware that in the eyes of many cursory observers, Ahmadiyyat has not as yet emerged as a potent force to bring about a global moral and spiritual revolution. Yet our trust is in our God. Weak and humble though we are, God has graciously chosen us as his instruments to usher in a new era of global peace and unification of mankind. Listen to what the promised Messiah proclaimed towards the close of the last century in the light of the divine revelation received by him. Quote, "The time is near when I should attain a magnificent victory, because in support of what I state, there is another voice which speaks, and in support of my hand, there is another hand which operates. Yet the world cannot perceive that which I behold. There is a heavenly spirit which speaks in me and grants a new life to every word and every letter of mine. A commotion has erupted in the heaven, which has caused this earthly body to stand up at God's behest. Every such person who has not been denied forgiveness and salvation shall soon see for himself that I do not make these claims on my own. Can they be seeing eyes which fail to recognize a man of truth? Can he be deemed alive who has no awareness of this heavenly call? It is likely," unquote, "it is likely that many will turn a skeptic here to what I say, wondering at the certitude and firmness of my faith in the glorious future of Ahmadiyyat. I am sure that the weak and oppressed proponents of Christianity at the end of the first Christian era must have felt somewhat like I feel today. They too were looked down upon, jeered and mocked at by the people of that age. Yet I have no doubt whatsoever that a day shall dawn before the end of the next century when people of that age will look back with no less than amazement at the incertitude and disbelief of the people of today. In the end, let me invite you once again with all my heart to accept the call of the promised reformer. Herein shall you find peace and tranquility of heart, which can only be acquired by submission to the will of God. May Allah bless you all. Thank you.
نبينا صل على محمد صل على سيدنا صل على محمد بلغ العلا بكماله كشف الدجى بجماله